There are colors that make you look poor, and it has nothing to do with your bank account. It's not about money. It's about the image you project. And without realizing it, you could be dulling your elegance every time you get dressed. Today, I'm going to reveal the 7 colors that sabotage your presence. Stay with me until the end, because number 1 is the most common, the most deceiving, and you might be wearing it right now. Color number 7, red. Red is a color that has always been surrounded by intense emotions, passion, strength, power, sensuality. Many women have used it as a way of saying, "Here I am, and I'm not afraid to be seen." But Queen, there's something we need to look at carefully when it comes to this vibrant color. Not all reds are created equal, and not all of them work in your favor. The problem isn't red itself, but what it projects when it's not chosen well. This especially happens when the tone, fabric, or finish isn't right. Think about bright, tight red pants, the kind with a shiny, synthetic finish and little structure. Even if they're new, even if they're freshly ironed, if the tone is too intense and the fabric too artificial, they can look cheap. And you, with all your life experience, don't want to project that. You don't need loud colors to be noticed. You already have presence. But if red creates visual noise, it can strip away the quiet elegance that suits you so well. Now imagine those same pants, but in a wide leg cut, with good flow, preferably made of cotton or twill. Which do you think would look better on you? The color is the same, but the material makes all the difference. That's the key. Choose red, but in quality fabrics. Velvet, wool, satin. These are materials with structure and grace. They don't just elevate your outfit, they elevate you. Another important detail when wearing red is how you combine it. If you pair it with another shiny fabric, it can become too much. Both pieces compete for attention, and the result is often excessive. Sometimes it can even look like you're trying to look young, instead of proudly showing off your maturity. Use red, yes, but as a statement, not an invasion. Pair it with solid colors, or go monochromatic. You don't need artificial lights to shine. You already have your own light. You just need to surround yourself with elements that don't dim it. When red is chosen wisely and tastefully, it can walk beside you with dignity. And the next color promises freshness, but what it really does is dull your face and take away elegance. And it has nothing to do with age. But before we continue, make sure to subscribe for more content that will help you elevate your elegance. Color number 6, beige. Beige is a color many people associate with elegance, subtlety, and classic style. And yes, it can be all that, but it can also be one of the most deceptive colors in your closet. The issue with beige is that, when chosen poorly, it can make you look washed out, invisible, or even give the impression that you're naked. And not in a poetic sense, literally. It can look like you're wearing nothing at all. This especially happens when the beige tone is too close to your skin tone. Instead of creating contrast, defining your shape, and enhancing your natural beauty, the color blends in with your skin and visually erases you. And Queen, you're not here to be erased. You're here to be seen, appreciated, and celebrated. When you wear beige without structure or clear tailoring, it can often send a message of indifference, as if you just threw on the first thing you found and walked out without caring how you look. And that doesn't reflect your story, your wisdom, or your inner strength. A monochromatic look can be elegant, yes, but it can also feel flat if it's not balanced with quality materials or accessories that elevate it. And you are not here to look flat. You have depth, character, power. Your clothing should remind the world of that. Avoid wearing beige from head to toe, especially if your bottoms are like leggings with no texture or modern cuts. Often, without realizing it, these can make you look like you're not wearing anything at all. So, does this mean you should avoid beige altogether? Not at all. You just need to choose the right pairings. Beige with white always brings an elegant touch. Navy blue, black, or mixing different tones within the same color family can create beautiful harmony. That's what can turn a simple beige outfit from boring and basic into something straight off the runway. Beige can absolutely walk beside you with dignity, as long as you're the one in control, not the other way around. Remember, the goal is never to hide. It's to show up with pride, with softness, with that kind of elegance that doesn't need to shout. Just shine. Are you enjoying these tips? Then don't miss my ebook, More Elegant Than Ever. It's a complete handbook to help you refresh your image. Link in the description. Color number 5, medium gray. Gray is known for being elegant, neutral, sophisticated, and often it is. But there's one type of gray that becomes a problem, especially when you're aiming to look fresh, refined, and radiant. I'm talking about medium gray, that shade that's neither light nor dark, neither pearl nor charcoal, but more of a nothing. A gray that says nothing, suggests nothing, and often does nothing but dim your natural light. This kind of gray is especially risky when worn near the face. It can emphasize the natural gray tones that appear in the skin over time. It can highlight fine lines, make you look more tired, or even older than you are. Not because age is something bad, but because that color doesn't celebrate your presence or highlight your inner energy. It just sits there, flat, lifeless, emotionless. And you, with all your lived experience, deserve the exact opposite. Instead of that soulless gray, choose similar shades with more intention. Pearl gray, for example, is luminous, soft, feminine. Smoke gray has depth, mystery, class. But if you still want to wear medium gray, try pairing it with white or black for effortless brightness. The important thing is that your gray has character, purpose, just like you, because you're not here for people to admire your outfit. You're here for them to feel your essence. Before wearing gray, check its texture, its light, its weight. If it's dull, flat, and shapeless, let it go. It owes you nothing, and you don't need to carry colors that don't serve you. Let your clothing always be a reflection of your strength, your serenity, and that mature beauty that no longer needs to explain itself. And if gray doesn't support that, leave it on the hanger. This shade can make you look dull and unintentional, but the next one is even worse. It makes you look careless, even when you've tried. Color number 4, canary yellow. Yellow is a cheerful, lively color, full of brightness. But there's one shade in particular that often causes more harm than good, especially for women over 50. I'm talking about canary yellow, that loud, almost neon yellow you see in synthetic tops, bargain blouses, or super lightweight dresses that seem to be screaming for attention. And you, queen, don't need to scream to be seen. You are a presence all on your own. The problem with bright yellow is not just how loud it is visually, it also tends to be unflattering on most mature skin tones. It highlights what you might prefer to soften: spots, under-eye circles, or any paleness around the neck or face. But don't worry, it's not about cutting yellow out of your life. Not at all. There are beautiful yellows that can walk with you in elegance and sophistication. Think mustard, ochre, or burnt yellow, colors that feel like autumn, wisdom, calm. A perfect outfit might be an ochre turtleneck sweater paired with high-quality neutral pants. Everything depends on the depth of the tone and the context in which you wear it. And you're not a weak woman, you're a queen. A woman who has lived, who has survived countless battles, who wakes up every day with the dignity of someone who knows her worth. Your clothing, your colors, your shapes should reflect all of that. So if you ever feel tempted to wear canary yellow, ask yourself first, is this color telling my story or confusing it? But the next color might make you look like you're wearing a costume. Color number 3, lime green. Green is a beautiful color, full of life and tied to nature, but among all its shades, one deserves a special warning: lime green. That bright, almost fluorescent shade that looks like it came from a highlighter pen can have a very unflattering effect when worn near the face, especially after 60. It's not because of your age, Queen. It's because that color has such intense visual energy that it overshadows yours. Lime green gives off the vibe of trying to dress young rather than confidently owning your maturity. Instead of freshness, it can create visual anxiety. It's so loud, so bold, that often people don't see the woman wearing it. They just see the color. And that's a problem because you are not a background. You are not a teenager seeking attention. You are a woman who has lived, who understands, who has nothing left to prove. There are many ways to wear green without falling into lime. Think olive, emerald, mint, forest, or moss. These are shades that enhance your presence with elegance. They evoke nature, depth, and balance. Unlike lime green, which can be aggressive and flashy, these tones offer a calming, almost poetic effect. When worn in a linen blouse or silk scarf, they add a soft glow that enhances mature skin effortlessly. It's a color that speaks quietly, but clearly. Perfect for days when you want to feel feminine without overdoing it. Because you, Queen, don't need to push your presence. Just arriving is enough, and soft greens, with their subtle elegance, understand that perfectly. And the next color promises freshness, but what it really does is dull your face and take away elegance, and it has nothing to do with age. Color number 2, dull brown. Brown is an earthy color, rooted, grounding, safe. But not all browns give you that feeling of strength. Dull brown, that flat, milky coffee shade, can be one of the least flattering colors in your wardrobe. Not because it's ugly on its own, but because it lacks intention. It's a color that says nothing, vibrates with nothing, adds nothing. It's just there, and when you wear it without thought, it becomes part of you, and it makes you disappear. Many women choose dull brown because it feels safe, subtle, easy to wear. But that so-called neutrality often becomes visual emptiness. And you, Queen, are not here to fade away. You're here to tell your story, to walk tall, to be seen as who you truly are. A mature woman who has learned to choose with love what touches her skin. But don't worry, the right shade of brown, one that's deeper and richer, can become one of your best allies. It's versatile, discreet, and easy to combine. But that doesn't mean you should settle for any version of it. If you're going to wear brown, let it be a deliberate choice. Look for tones with depth, that speak with confidence, that offer visual strength. Dark chocolate or espresso brown, for example, has a quiet class. It adapts to everything effortlessly, but that doesn't mean it should be chosen without care. Not all browns are equal, and you deserve one that matches your presence, because when brown is chosen well, it carries a quiet sophistication, a mature elegance that doesn't need embellishment. It's a color with weight, with story, with soul. And you, Queen, are not here to wear just anything. Your clothes should walk with you, with the same power you bring to life. And the last one is the most common. But when worn the wrong way, it doesn't just make you look poor. It makes you look like you've stopped loving yourself. Color number 1, white, too transparent or yellowed. And now we arrive at the most deceptive color of all. One that, without realizing, we wear over and over again because we associate it with cleanliness, brightness, neutrality. I'm talking about white, but not just any white. White that has lost its purity, that white that's been through too many washes, now yellowed, faded, almost sad, or worse, white that's so thin and transparent that it shows what you don't want to reveal. Many women wear white blouses thinking they look fresh or elegant, and yes, they can. But when white is too thin and the fabric is poor, what often happens is that it becomes a window, and your clothes should not be a window. They should be armor, a reflection of your essence, not a gap through which your underwear, your skin, or even your insecurities can be seen. On top of that, when white turns yellowed, it gives off an impression of neglect. Even if it's clean, even if it's ironed, if the color has changed from age or poor laundering, it sends a message of abandonment, as if the garment itself has lost its energy. And if there's one thing you cannot allow, it's that, because you are not abandoned. You are alive, and everything you wear should remind you of that. If you have white garments that were once your favorites, but now have that faded look, it's time to let them go. Thank them for their service and refresh your light. My recommendation? Always keep your white garments well cared for and immaculate. White can be wonderful when it's pure, with a good cut, solid structure, and lasting craftsmanship. There are white pieces that, even after years, still look new, if you know how to preserve them. Remember, what you wear is not just a whim, it's an investment. And high-quality garments can make that investment worthwhile. Queen, what you wear should serve as an extension of your wisdom. There is no age for beauty. There is beauty in every age, but colors have memory. And some of them, they've got nothing new left to say to you. Let them go, because the best thing you can wear is your confidence. If you made it this far, drop a elegance in every detail in the comments so I know you're part of our community of women who shine from within. What you learned today is just the beginning. My ebook, More Elegant Than Ever, will show you how to dress for your body type, choose your best colors, and so much more. The link's in the description, and only the first ones to grab it will get all the exclusive content, because you deserve to look like a queen.